Did Marvel Rivals fall off? Disclaimer, the gameplay trash. So Marvel Rivals came out December 2024, I think. The month of my birthday. And for a casual Marvel fan and casual gamer, I think it's a pretty fun new take on a hero shooter. I think it has, it's cool in third person, It's got team ups. You can put little guy on Groot. You can do pretty cool team ups. You can do team ups that make you question why did they even add this in the first place and make you question your sanity. And also destructive maps and like the maps rebuilding themselves. I love that. I love that a lot. It can be kind of annoying. However, it can bring out a bunch of strategies that a lot of people don't really think about. Alright, so second thing with Marvel Rivals. It's a fun new way of looking at Marvel. I don't actually remember the last time. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the last time we had a Marvel game other than Sony Spider-Man that we kind of all collectively was like, yeah, this is an amazing Marvel game. And I'll put a little sidebar if there has been one recent other than, but with Marvel Rivals, I think it introduced a bunch of heroes that a lot of people didn't know about. I'm a little casual Marvel fan. I didn't know who the fuck Girl was. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know who Psylocke was. That it gives a new way of learning about them. Because of Marvel Rivals, I learned about, them. Third, skins. The store is fine. It's a free game, so I get why skins are about, they're gonna be 30. But a lot of them are lore driven, which I like. I learned this from many good sources, aka one source that they're related to many of the comments, which is cool. And another thing, I like that the battle pass, because every game has a battle pass every now and then. It is what it is. The battle pass is timeless, meaning it can never run out, and I personally love that because if you're living life, if you're not constantly playing this game, complete the battle pass is what I mean. Cons. I am giving grace when it comes to the cons of Marvel Rivals, simply because I think the game's still in development. Now, with that, it's still pretty new. Like, I know it's almost been a year when we hit December. It's July right now as recording. But once it's hit a year, yeah, I guess we can put more critique on it. But I think right now, I don't have that many cons other than like the game being kind of repetitive and the lack of game modes. There's only 3. You got ranked, quick play, and duel mode? I think? Whatever the free for all one is, that one. I don't really like that one too much because I'm absolute dog at, surviving by myself. I like team-based games because I can rely on other people and they can carry me. But the recent game mode that just ended as of recording was the Ultron game mode. And I didn't get to play that one, so I'm going to put up some gameplay here. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's interesting. I just don't think it's for me, personally. It kind of reminds me of Teamfight Tactics, but you get to, play in it yourself. I don't know. It's not for me. If it's for you, that's cool. And I like that they've done this. This is something different that I haven't seen other than the accursed League of Legends. But other than that, I think that's cool. But with the majority of events that Marvel Rivals has, I just think they're kind of lacking. However, they usually accompany with a skin. But I just kind of wish there was more game modes with them, Let's go on to gameplay. So, it's Overwatch in third person. It's Marvel. It's 6v6. There's no role cap, which I have a hate-love relationship with. It helps with doing the team-ups, but it's a pain in the ass when you're trying to comp with other people, but everyone wants to play DPS.
No. Wait.
It's just usually when everyone's DPS that it's kind of a pain, and I don't personally like it. I kind of hope maybe in the future there's an option for role queue, just for funsies, kind of like how League of Legends. I'm so sorry how many times I'm going to mention League of Legends, but kind of how League of Legends has draft pick, where you pick a role, you have to pick. I mean, maybe something like this where it's a separate game mode, something. I played a little bit of ranked. I didn't play a lot of ranked this season, so I don't really pay attention a lot to hero changes and things like that. I just kind of play the game as it goes. I don't really particularly care about necessarily all. If I feel like I'm not having fun with them, I just normally don't play them. But I'll say this about ranked. I got up to, in season 1, I got up to plat 4, just casually playing. I didn't really play every day or anything like that. And it's just every other ranked game that you play. I may have committed the sin of not going in voice chat to communicate with my teammates, but I don't really do that with any game. I just feel like it's a pain. And I kind of like that. I don't have to talk to anyone to play the game. Not much to say about Marvel Rivals because I feel like we don't have much to work with. I think there's a lot of room for growth. I think there's a lot of potential. And my source is Twitter, but according to NetEase, they apparently have the rights of all the characters from all the Marvel characters in the past 85 years, and I think that's kind of cool. Like, I know, like, some people might be like, oh, it's just Marvel characters, that shouldn't really matter, but I don't know, I think it's fun. And even though there's only like 2 game modes with the occasional special game mode, I think that's pretty good. And like, if you're not, honestly, I feel like this game is less fun if you're constantly playing ranked and you're expecting more from this game than what this game can give you. But that's kind of my only take on Marvel Rivals, to be honest. I think if any reason this game is quote-unquote falling off, I think it's just because it doesn't have much variety in like game modes other than, your normal 6v6 quick play. Yeah. Overwatch has been out for so long and has honestly had such a rocky road in terms of its reputation, especially in 2023 to 2024. It kind of fell flat on its face, and I'm really happy that Marvel Rivals making it want to be a better game. I think it's great that Marvel Rivals became competition, but in the same breath, it's kind of like I wish that they just didn't need the competition. They just listened to their community, like with the 6v6, the classic mode, the loot boxes, the battle pass, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not playing comp. I'm gonna assume it's basically like how it was when I left it back in season 10. I could be wrong. I could be telling a fib. I could be lying. But the modes I'm going to talk about is Unranked Quick Play, Stadium, and some of the arcades. This is a pro. It kind of has so much that you won't be bored. And one of my favorite things about Overwatch is the custom games. I remember them how they were left. Either you had a random RP server, which, you don't know who was behind those screens, or you had like gun game or like a nice like social chat or RPG or anything like that, or like the weird, I don't know what it was. I'm gonna put it on the screen. If you know what I'm talking about, like with this, like it was like daddy versus child type like gameplay. I don't know. It was kind of weird. I'm not gonna talk about it. But anyway, there's that. This game has been out so long, and there's so many characters that I can't I honestly haven't played. I think they're all cool. I think they're wonderful, but at the same time, I I I, I, I just don't want to play them. I'm just not gonna lie. Everyone I did play that I never got into play, I played. I haven't played Hazard. I think he was before. This is a lie. The gameplay was so atrocious, everyone left, and I then switched to Zarya. I saw his like original concept or one of the variations of him by an artist, and that's what I'll live by for the rest of my life, I think. If you're watching this video, you probably already know about Overwatch. I feel like you, viewer, I'm not doubting your ability to know what Overwatch is, but I think me and you both know, and if you don't, I'll kind of explain it briefly. When Overwatch fell on its face, especially when Overwatch 2 first came out, and it gave all these promises of PvE and stuff like that, and didn't fulfill those promises, it was kind of like, why was Overwatch 2 even here? And then Marvel Rivals came out and they brought back 6v6 and they started doing a lot more events. Well, granted, I could be a little biased because I was very much on and off of Overwatch 2 because of... I was personally on and off of Overwatch because of the lack of care and the false promises Blizzard kept making for Overwatch. And when they finally brought stuff back, like loot boxes, classic mode, and stuff like that, it made the game more interesting again. I don't really have much to say about Overwatch 2. Brick and mortar lore. You know the lore, you don't. I honestly can't remember the lore that much because it kind of got lost, I think, with like the transition to Overwatch 2. Like, I'll put like the briefest synopsis. Let's open this loot box and see what I've been missing out on so long. I got Epic loot box. I think it's kind of cool. They did the different loot boxes, but let's open this. I don't think the gameplay's changed that much. Pretty much been the same. I think they made it a bit fresher. I love some of the new maps. I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember exactly the game mode. I think it's Converge. Or Convergence or something of that matter. I don't know if I like the game mode too much. It's a little confusing to me, and it's probably because I haven't played this game enough. I'll probably play it a little bit more after this and have some thoughts on it. But like in a conversation of Marvel Rivals versus Overwatch, I think they're in their own leagues. I think Overwatch is more established. And I'm glad that Marvel Rivals has kind of forced Overwatch to look at itself and really realize, yeah, we could lose our entire like community in like a blink of the eye. And I hope the best for Overwatch, and I hope to continue to play it. Like I had a bunch of fun in the stadium game mode. Like it's very much like Apex Arena. If you're familiar with that, you're kind of, which it was a little weird playing characters in third person. Please ignore this not very good gameplay, but I think it was really cool with like setting up the powers and stuff like that. And even in the regular quick play, there's like the side powers, and definitely had my brain racking. I liked it. It's cool. I think if you haven't touched Overwatch in a while, I think you will have an incredible time. Like, it's definitely a different experience than Overwatch 1, and like as a, I guess, quote unquote OG Overwatch player, I'm glad to see where it is. It makes me happy. I can't stand that. Okay, no, I'm not tripping. Vitcher still doesn't have a skin. That's insane. I think they do have a bit of a problem. Like, if I'm being as nitpicky as possible, I think they definitely need to distribute their skins a bit better. Alright, yeah, other than that, I think Juno and Kiriko have an unnecessary amount of skins. It's kind of unbelievable. At least give Venture and Magua one. Maybe they do, maybe they're like special skins, and that's cool, but that's probably my biggest gripe with this game so far. I'm really glad to see what it is, and in conclusion, no one's better than the other. If you want to play Marvel Rivals, go play Marvel Rivals. If you want to play Overwatch, go play Overwatch. I think they're both in a great place to where you can do either one or maybe even do both. I know I'll be playing both, especially after I finish all my challenges in Marvel Rivals and have basically nothing to do. I just go to Overwatch and get some loot boxes and cry that I absolutely didn't get anything out of them. So I think you should just enjoy what you enjoy, and I know that TikTok comments will not change, and they will constantly still berate on Overwatch 2 falling off, even though it hasn't. I mean, it did, but I think it's picked itself up, and there's not much else. Enjoy what you enjoy, love what you love, and that's all from me. Peace.